Welcome, everybody, to Chef Val Live. It is Monday, March 4th, 2024. And you know what that means? That means that the Vegan Health Bundle is available for purchase. And I have Chef Julia Dunaway, and it looks like she wants to show us her puppy. Is that your
No, this
puppy
is
or
this
your
is not
dog?
the puppy. This is the big dog. That's Jiro. He was
Chiro.
just over here. Yeah, he's 2.
Maybe at the end of the interview, you can show us your puppy.
Yeah. I'll go get him at the end. He's sleeping
Yeah.
right now.
So Chef Julia Dunaway and myself are part of the Vegan Health Bundle that was just released, and it's only for sale till March 10th. This bundle has over 150 people who contributed, and there's over $8,000 worth of merchandise. This is such an incredible deal. It's unbelievable. And so the Vegan Health Bundle, I only do one bundle a year. So if you want the stuff that I've contributed, you've got to get this bundle. And Chef Julia Dunaway, her background is in Japanese cooking because her mom was Japanese. So I always brag about Chef Julia, really, because we're contributors. I got to see what was in the bundle first. And I opened it up, and the first thing I went to was Chef Julia's new cookbook, Japanese 2, because she uses sea vegetables, which, I'm very familiar with, tofu, miso, mirin, and tamari, and of course, rice. I use all brown rice. Now, Chef Julia, because of her background, she uses all different varieties of rices, but I love the Japanese flair. Okay. Now, at any time that you're watching this video, hit the like button, hit the share button, and ask us questions. I can see the chat. Say hello, say hi. I'm tuned in from wherever, and ask us questions. How can you get the bundle? Well, the link is in this video, and then Chef Julia is going to share this video, and it'll be on her page too. And during the interview, we're going to talk all about how you can follow Chef Julia and stay connected with her. But right now, I want to introduce Chef Julia. And if you just tell people, a little bit about your background, but thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you. Well, I don't really have a big background in Japanese cooking. I just happen to be from a Japanese mother and an American father, and I grew up watching my mother cook Japanese food, but I never studied it really specifically. Although I did go to culinary school, it was a French culinary school, the classic, French culinary school where we had to melt butter every day and make clarified butter, and everything was super, super rich. So that was kind of my cooking training. And then I had 4 children, have 4 children, 4 grandchildren, and I always cooked kind of regular old American food with some of my mother's dishes thrown in. Like everybody liked anything teriyaki, everybody always liked rice, and your typical Japanese food that people always think about. But the plant-based stuff, I didn't really start working on that until the last few years. My mother died in 2006, so I made her normal Japanese food up until I turned plant-based in 2017. And then 2018, I really got a lot more strict about it. And so none of the stuff that I ate growing up, other than miso soup and some of the seaweed and vegetable things, those were all compliant, but a lot of the stuff wasn't. It had fish, chicken, whatever, sushi. So then I just started to say, okay, there has to be a way to make my favorite Japanese food into some kind of plant-based version of it and make it taste just as good. So I started experimenting. And so that my first ebook was Plant-Based Japanese 1. I had it sitting out here earlier today. Oh, it's over here. Hold on.
And I made your kabocha bread last year from your first Japanese cookbook.
Yeah.
It was delicious.
And this is about to come out in a regular cookbook. So a publisher is going to put it in the form of like a paperback. So I'm really excited about that because, printing out an ebook is kind of a pain. So if it's in a regular book, it makes it a lot easier. So anyway, that was my first thing. And that was in last year's bundle. And a lot of people liked it. I was really shocked because immediately people said, Oh, I really like that. I like Japanese food. I never knew how I could turn it into plant-based, no oil. And then
Mhm.
there were a lot of things in it that people were unfamiliar with, so they, developed a familiarity with a lot of new things they don't normally make. And it's interesting how now, excuse me, with all the stuff coming out about gut microbiome and
Mhm.
all this stuff comes out about, oh, fermentation is good for you, and eat miso, eat tempeh, eat all these things, ume plums and all these things I've been eating forever. Now all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, you should be eating that. It's like, I've always been eating that. And then seaweed. I've heard a lot of stuff lately about, natural way to get iodine and, the health properties of seaweed. And I'm thinking, I have been eating all kinds of seaweed my whole life. I eat hijiki and wakame and nori and kombu and you name it. I eat seaweed all the time, always have. But now people are acting like seaweed is
Yeah.
great. And, most people can't pronounce it right, but it cracks me up. So I just kind of smile.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyway, what I'll tell you, my plant-based Japanese 2 book, what really I'm pleased about is one is the onigiri, a lot of people call it, but onigiri, the rice balls. And I
Which
have
you
a
did. Yeah, you demonstrated that on Chef AJ yesterday. I watched you and Chef AJ. That was really nice.
but I have some really good fillings because onigiri are they're rice balls and they're filled with stuff. And the typical Japanese fillings are like tuna with mayo or something. And I made a really good chickpea mayo filling that's really delicious, and a mushroom filling. And you can make these rice balls and take them with you, and they're so good. So I have, along with the ebook, you get to watch about a 30-minute video of how to make the rice balls. And then the other thing that stands out to me that was different about the other book is I delved into donabe cooking. Are you familiar with donabe cooking, Val?
Danabe cooking.
Yeah, it looks like this. So a donabe is a
Oh, in the
vessel.
the
Yeah,
nabi
it's a
pot.
hot
Yep.
pot.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
So I got a whole collection of these donabe. They're clay pots, and you can make things on your stove in them. Like here's one. It's a miso hot pot,
Yeah.
and you put broth in there, and then like seaweed broth, and then you start adding your vegetables like all kinds of, you can have broccoli, carrots, onions, whatever in the broth, and you simmer it, and then you add some tofu, and then you make some sauces. Like you might make a kind of a citrusy soy sauce thing, or it could be a miso sauce, dipping sauce. And then you put your hot pot, you can put it directly from the stove on a hot pad because it'll stay really hot, or you can put it on a burner and cook it at the table. But in any way you eat it right from the pot. You spoon it out and have a bowl of rice, and then you dip it, and it's like a slow food kind of, occasion where everybody sits around and they spoon stuff out from the pot. And then at the end, if you have a burner on your table, like I have all these portable butane burners, then you add noodles or rice or something and turn it into a soup. And that's like the crowning glory of the meal. After all the vegetables and stuff have simmered all the time you've been eating, then you add your noodles or rice or whatever, and then you have this delicious soup to finish off the meal. And so that is an art form. So I've been doing a lot of that donabe cooking and have collected a whole collection of these donabe pots. And then the last thing that I think is significant is I did a copycat mung bean egg,
Yeah.
and that is the most watched video I have on my YouTube channel. I think it has about 50,000 views, which is a lot for me. So I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, that's a lot of people looked at that. But I made split yellow mung beans and turned them into a mixture that when you cook it in a skillet like an omelet, it tastes like an egg.
Mm.
And with that, I was able to use that as a filling for sushi. I was able to make an omu rice, which is a Japanese dish called, it's like an omelet rice where you make an omelet and you put fried rice in it and fold it over, and it's like an omelet with rice inside. And then lastly, I was able to make really good okonomiyaki. And okonomiyaki is a Japanese savory pancake. So
I made that. Yeah.
oh, did you make that? Yeah, with the mung bean mixture.
No, I only have green mung beans,
Oh,
and
okay.
I couldn't find yellow ones, and I thought
Mhm.
that's not going to make it look very appealing if it was
Mhm.
green.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll have to I'll have to check out that YouTube video though too,
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
I was reading your cookbook and I loved it, but when it got to that, I was like, all I have is green and I don't think
Mhm.
that's going to be pretty. So I did make those pancakes, but I substituted and I used tofu, like a
Yeah.
silken tofu
Oh,
instead.
okay.
Yeah, and I added a bunch. I added more vegetables than you did, but
Oh, nice.
this is what it looked like. I put some purple cabbage, so
Uh-huh.
but it kind of turned the tofu like all purple. But
Mhm.
anyways, let's see. I put carrots like you had, and the purple
Mhm.
cabbage. I have green cabbage in there too, and I put radish. I put diced
Uh-huh.
up little radish, and
Mhm.
yeah. So it's very flavorful, very
Good.
delicious, and it was fun to make.
Mhm.
And now in Chef Julia's cookbook, she has some red a ketchup sauce over the top
Mhm.
that I don't eat tomatoes, but I have a red sauce, and I was gonna do take that, substitute the ketchup, and then make that ketchup. I ran out of
Mhm.
time, so all I have is
Yeah.
the little patties. But you can see, like, it's
Mhm.
like if you could do the step that Chef Julie is talking about, watch her video and learn how to do that mung bean egg substitute, which
Mhm.
I'm definitely gonna do when I get the yellow mung beans, and then
Yeah.
this recipe is absolutely delicious. So once you get the bundle, because I know you all want to get the bundle before March 10th, this is a recipe that you really want to make.
Yeah, it's another tabletop recipe in Japan. How okonomiyaki is something you go to a restaurant and they have. I have a little unstable internet today. It's been kind of doing some stuff, but
Yeah,
in
kind of.
Japan,
Yeah, you're good. It just
yeah,
flashed a little bit.
you go into the restaurant and they have a griddle in the middle of the table, and they bring you a bowl, and in the bowl is cabbage, carrots, onions, and some of their batter, which is made from flour, and they'll put eggs in it and stuff. And then what you do is you mix it all together, and then you make it on the griddle. And so it's really fresh. But the sauce for the okonomiyaki is not a ketchup sauce. That is more like a Worcestershire based sauce. It's a brownish sauce. So the ketchup sauce was for omurice, the other thing. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear
Okay.
you.
It's just flashing.
Yeah. No, your voice is coming through fine.
Okay, all right. Well, hopefully this will quit. I'm going to brew my tea. I have some sencha green tea leaves in here with hot water. And when I set it on my cup, it will just come through and it will leave all the leaves inside the brewing part. So um, I've been trying to use a lot more loose leaves for my tea lately because I,
So,
I like the taste of them, and they're decaf and they're
mhm.
green tea. So if you've been watching Dr. Greger, he talks a lot about the anti-aging properties of green tea, even decaf. So I try to drink as much as I can.
And now I drink Kakusha twig tea all the time.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah, I have that.
It's it's the twigs from the same plant as what
Uh-huh.
you're drinking.
Yeah.
The twigs are harvested in the fall time, and they actually let the twigs like sit there for like 2 years and age.
Mhm.
So it's a darker brown tea that helps
Mhm.
to alkalize your system, and it also has all the healing properties that you just mentioned. And so
Mhm.
the twig tea is my go-to, and there's no caffeine in it also.
Yeah,
So
I've seen that. Yeah.
yeah, you got to try that one. It's a really good one. Absolutely. You mentioned the nabi pot, which one of my favorite dishes that I make is yaki nabi, tofu and kombu and tamari in the pot. Although I don't always make it in my pot. Sometimes I just make it in a stainless steel pot. But yeah, one of my favorites. Yeah. Well, now you're frozen. Before you were just clicking in and out. Say something. Are you still there? Oh, might have lost you, Chef Julia. You are clicking in and out, and now you're frozen, and now I can't hear you. Before I could hear you. Chef Julia Dunaway is in the bundle with me. Chef Julia, if you can still hear me, you could try and click out and leave and then click back in, and maybe you might be able to come. That would be great. Yeah. And so today I'm coming to you with Chef Julia Dunaway, and both of us are a part of the Vegan Health Bundle that is for sale right now, only until Sunday, March 10th. And the Vegan Health Bundle has over 150 of us that contributed, and there's $8,000 worth of merchandise in the bundle. Okay. There's cookbooks, there's cooking videos, there's nutritional information, there's yoga classes, there's exercise classes, there's 4 different things in the bundle that are kids for, helping kids and teach kids about vegan whole foods, which I think is absolutely wonderful. I have, there's so many in there, I have to write it down, but Margaret Freitag, she's got something in there for picky kids. So she's helping picky kids eat the healthy, vegan food. So the whole bundle is about health, vegan, health food. That's what we're all about. And so welcome back, Chef Julia.
Sorry about that. I've been having some kind of internet glitches today where the internet goes out and then I have to reboot. So
that's okay. Because I just checked my YouTube channel. This is live on Facebook and YouTube. And for some reason, people can't leave a comment on YouTube, but they can leave a comment on Facebook. So it's an internet thing. It's no big deal. Because the great thing about these live videos is if someone's joining us, we can talk to them. But also you can share this recording afterwards,
Right,
and I think many people are going to watch this. Chef AJ, she's going overboard. She's doing so many shows this week. And I'm watching them at night when I have sometimes, like I pulled up yesterday's show. Go and watch, Chef AJ and Chef Julia yesterday. Tell us about that recipe you made, because that's one of your, I don't know, is that one of your signature dishes? But it was beautiful. The rice ball.
Oh, that was the rice ball, onigiri. And the rice ball is really, it's a staple in Japan. It's like, Japanese mothers make rice balls for their kids instead of sandwiches. And there are all kinds of ways you can make them. Yesterday, I made them with a form. I happen to have it still in here. You can make it with your hands.
Yes.
You don't have to use a form, but yesterday I actually used the form because it makes it really easy where it's a rice ball in the shape of a triangle kind of. And then you set it down and then you put the rice in the little well, put your filling in, put a little rice over it, and then pull it up, and then you have a perfect little triangle-shaped rice ball. So then you put seaweed around the outside of it, and then you eat it. And I ate about 4 of them yesterday, which I normally don't eat that many, but I was so hungry and busy. And then once I made them, it was like, oh, this is so good. And I just kept eating them. But you can wrap them up and take them with you on a picnic or in your lunch. But
I learned how to make rice balls when, I got started in macrobiotic cooking, which is interesting. But we did where we put the rice and we made it into a ball. Ours wasn't prettier. We just made it into a compact ball. We put a little bit of the umeboshi plum paste in the middle and covered the rice completely with nori. So yours had some rice exposed, but I thought it was so interesting. Yours are so pretty with that mold, and you have them in like a triangle shape, and they were so pretty. Yeah.
Thank you. I can make them round too, and you can do anything you want with them. You can cover them completely with seaweed. You can put a small amount, and for the people who don't like seaweed, you can just put some sesame seeds on the outside and not even put seaweed on them. So there are a lot of people that I've run across that don't really like seaweed very much, especially nori, because they think it tastes funny or they don't like the
fishy.
Yeah. So you don't ever have to eat it. You can just, eat other stuff. So, but I think a well-balanced diet, can include a lot of Japanese foods, and now it's gotten more popular. Japanese restaurants are super popular now, and in every
Yeah.
community there are several, I think now. Where when I was growing up in California, there were hardly any Japanese restaurants and no sushi restaurants at all, period, until the 70s, like the mid 1970s. That's when they first started cropping up in LA. Before that, you could not go out to a restaurant and order sushi. It was just not available unless it was some really small mom and pop place, in a town that I didn't know about, but it was just not available like it is now.
So sea vegetables. I made your kombu dish. Let me get it.
Oh, okay, great.
So I was the same way, when I started macrobiotics and everything. The weirdest thing was, how do you pronounce these things, right? And I still have people that don't pronounce it right. So this is, I have it written down. Maybe it's the kombu dish.
Is it the kombu sukadane?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and that's another one. Oh, that looks good. That's another filling for the rice balls.
Yes.
So that makes a really good filling inside the rice ball.
Now, really my kombu did not get really soft. It still
doesn't ever get really soft.
Okay. All right.
It just won't. It's still kind of chewy. Because it's just not going to ever get soft.
Okay.
It's not possible. Mine wasn't soft either. And I asked my Japanese friend who made it. She said, no, it doesn't really get soft. It gets softer, but it's a hard piece of seaweed when the original piece is hard as a rock. Yes. So if it gets soft enough to bite into and you can enjoy it, it's soft enough. It's just not going to ever get super, super soft.
But yeah, putting it in the middle of sushi rolls, brown rice rolls, that's a great idea. And mirin, you use brown rice cooking wine in there, mirin. I didn't have any sake, so but that's okay, because you can just substitute. Here's for people who don't know, here's the kombu. Let me get this. Kombu is really good for your hair too. Yeah, if you want beautiful, luscious hair, you want kombu. So it starts out dry.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I use it a lot. I make I make kombu. It's actually pronounced kombu.
Okay.
Oh, like konbu. Konbu stock is you just take a piece of the seaweed and put it in a quart jar of water and let it sit overnight, and there you have stock. So I use that a lot for my miso soup. So, and it's a good ingredient. A lot of times people will put a piece in their rice when they're cooking it. And it gives a little umami to the rice. They put it in your rice cooker. So there are a lot of uses for it.
Yeah, when somebody's starting out and the sea vegetables are just so foreign to them, I always tell them, if you're going to cook your brown rice, it's really easy to just put a little piece in, or any whole grain, whether it's millet or quinoa, you can just put a piece in there and just cook it. All right, let's see. What else did I make of Chef Julia's? This is the tofu.
Oh, nice.
You have a couple of them. It's the miso garlic.
Oh, okay.
With the mellow, I adore mellow miso. So, yeah, this one came out very nice. Yeah, I already ate half.
Did you sample some?
Yeah, it was really good. And then this one.
You made a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Well,
I'm impressed.
Well, that's like you and me. We're chefs. What do? We cook.
Yeah.
This one is the mock salmon tofu.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Great. That looks good too.
I didn't have any beet powder, which would fill bread, right?
Oh,
so
okay.
mine is
just makes it kind of pink.
Yeah, from the turmeric. That's what it. But
it's good.
This is such an interesting recipe. This was so good. Yeah, and for me, I would just take a piece of this and just eat it as a snack. I'm thinking this is my snack now. Look at these pieces. Whoever thought you could do this with tofu, right?
Yeah.
This one is really cool. It's one of my favorites. Love that one. Yeah.
Yeah, people say all the time to me that, tofu, ick, I don't like tofu. It's just mushy and weird. And I'm thinking, well, that's because you don't really know how to cook it. If you press it and marinate it and roast it or bake it or do something with it, it transforms into something totally different. And you can eat it on top of a grain. You can put it inside a sushi roll. Even one of the fillings for the rice balls is tofu, simmered tofu, teriyaki style. So, you can put it in everything. And I make crumbles with it. Like I crumble it up small and put like chili powder and garlic powder and stuff like that and make Mexican tofu crumbles. And they go really good on nachos or they go really good in tacos. And my husband, who's not plant based, he's gotten to the point where he'll eat stuff like that, tacos and tostadas and stuff that has the tofu crumbles because he thinks they taste really good. And he doesn't care that they're not, ground, whatever, animal products. He thinks they're good as they are. So he's transformed some of his taste preferences from eating tofu.
That is really cool. That's awesome. Also, in the bundle, now this is Lisa Rice's dish, and I changed it though. Her contribution is around the world, plates from a plant-based planet. So she has different dishes from different countries. And her recipe was you were supposed to take rice paper and you were supposed to make like roll-ups, and I didn't have any rice paper. So I served it over a bed of rice, and it's vegetables with a peanut sauce, and I adore peanut butter. So yeah, that's another thing that's in the bundle.
You've been cooking a lot of stuff.
Yes, absolutely. My contribution in the bundle, I have a couple things. Mine is healing with food. And what it is I teach you about how to make poultices, compresses, and medicinal teas. And so the first week is onion and garlic. The second week is aloe and comfrey. And the third week is ginger, my favorite, turmeric root. So it's 3 classes, but there's also a booklet that goes with it. And I go into detail about the history of the food. Like they've been using comfrey since hundreds of thousands of years, even before recorded history. They've been using comfrey to treat broken bones and skin abrasions and things like that. So I go into the history. I go into, the medicinal properties of the plant, but I also go into like, if something happens to you, what should you use? Should you use comfrey or should you use aloe? Should you use onions? And then I teach you, actually in the class, I show you how do you make a compress? How do you make a poultice? And I use these things on a regular basis. And I'm hoping that by teaching them to other people, they start using them because, just like with cooking, once you start using it on a regular basis, you'll remember, instead of reaching for something that's going to have side effects like a pill, you'll be like, oh yeah, garlic's going to, heal that for me. And they'll reach for garlic as opposed to something that's going to have side effects.
Hey, Val, you have a question.
Oh,
from
awesome.
Leanne, and it's about the bundle, but I think you should refer her to the bundle help people through Chef AJ, because I heard her say that to somebody yesterday on the show that they've got, and I can't remember what email she gave for that, but they can help her with that.
Yeah, thank you so much, Chef Julia, for seeing that. So Leanne, it says expired. So Leanne, you can send me an email at val@macroval.com, and I can give you more details. You're the first person that has said that. I purchased the bundle, paid. It will not let me download. It says expired. And so we do have a help email address that Chef Julia mentioned. So if you contact me directly, then I can get you that email to get you to the help people, the people that are, I don't know what, they're help people. that sounds dumb. Support people, experts. Yeah. And they can definitely help you with any problems or situations that happen with the bundle. Because for people who don't know, the bundle is digital. And so all the contributions like Chef Julia's cookbook and my cooking classes, they're going to be available for you for 1 year. But
email again.
You can download anything you want for free and you'll have it forever. So I'm going to type into the Facebook chat my email.
Oh, good.
Yep. Good. And then Chef Julia, what are some of the things that are in the bundle that are some of your favorites?
Oh, I actually had written down some things. I don't have that list here with me, but I had, there's some really good cookbooks, like international different things. And so I can't remember all their names, but just a lot of really good ones. And what I noticed were there a lot of really lengthy courses from people where you would spend hundreds of dollars to take that course, or they were so generous in, like, one woman does yoga for all bodies, and another one had an exercise platform where she said there were 100, I think it was over 100 exercise videos that were available to look at through her course, which I thought was so generous. But yeah, I have some of the things I'm making. That'll kind of give you an idea of what I thought were some good things. The date lady had a cookbook along with a coupon for dates stuff, and I'm making homemade Snicker bars from her recipe later this week. Tomorrow, there was an ebook called Very Veganish by Abby Cowell, and I'm making a tofu egg salad sandwich tomorrow.
Yum.
I live stream every morning about 10 o'clock a.m. Central Time. So
And
this morning,
where can people watch that? Tell them where they can watch that.
you can put my thing in your chat. It's Chef Julia on Facebook. Maybe put the link. It's just Chef Julia is my business page. And that's where my live stream is. And it's also on my YouTube channel, which is just Julia Dunaway. So if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, it will notify you. So it goes to all my Facebook pages. I have like 3 different Facebook destinations: my support group, my business page, and my personal page, and then it goes to YouTube. So I'm making that egg salad sandwich with tofu. I'm making something from Elspeth Feldman's. She and her daughter did an international book with French, Thai, and I can't remember the other one, Mediterranean. Anyway, it had like, multi countries, and I'm making some kind of shallot vinaigrette from her. I like the shallot vinaigrette because it didn't have anything in it but some different citrus and white wine. It didn't have any tahini or cashews, because I tend to get really, hung up on cashews and stuff and make all my dressings with cashews. So I want to find some that are not so, high fat. And then raw food romance chef Melissa, I'm going to make her wraps. She has this really good thing where she makes classic wraps, but they're raw and they're made in the dehydrator. But she takes things like potatoes and apples and onions and dates and vinegar and puts them in a blender and then spreads them on a silicone base and then puts it in the dehydrator for like 12 hours. And then they become like these pliable wraps that you can then put whatever you want in it. Now, I don't eat raw, but I could use the wrap and I could put hummus in it and vegetables, or tofu and vegetables, and have like a sandwich wrap. So I'm going to make that. Another thing that I'm excited about making is spelt pizza.
Who's got that? Who's got that? I got to look that up.
This is Rebecca Stoner, Stonor. And her thing is called The Pizza Party.
Oh, wow. Yeah, there's so much in the bundle. I didn't check that one out yet. That's why I love talking to people like you. You're going to tell me where I should go next to look at really good stuff.
And then this morning I made, well, let me finish what I was going to say. I'm going to make carrot cake energy bites one day, and I don't think I have that recipe printed out. That was really good, and I can't remember whose that was. Wait, maybe I have it here. Carrot cake energy bites. No, I didn't write down who that's from yet. And then fig from the California balsamic. I'm making fig nice cream with balsamic glaze because I have fig balsamic vinegar. I have some fig balsamic vinegar that I have not ever used. So I froze some of my fig preserves with bananas in my Ninja Creamy, which I already have. And I'm going to turn that into fig banana ice cream. And then I'm going to put some of this fig balsamic vinegar on it as a dessert. We'll see how that tastes.
I love figs. I love figs. Yeah.
And then another really good one was the Indian. I printed off this by mistake, so I have it. Is the Broccoli Mom's Indian Cookbook.
Nice.
And I am going to make her, if I can get all the ingredients. I'm going to go today after a meeting. I'm going to make her naan wraps with tofu tikka, and some mint coriander chutney.
The seasoning tekka, that's burdock root and miso. Is that?
No. Tikka, Tikka. It's Indian. It's kind of like a marinade with yogurt. So
Okay.
it's tofu tikka, Tikka, and it's like a tofu that's been marinated in a bunch of seasonings, and then you saute it in a pan, and then you put it in a naan wrap, and the naan is made from a whole wheat flour, and then you put some coriander chutney, and maybe you can make raita. She has a raita recipe. I love Indian food, so I'm going to make that. It's kind of ambitious. It's got a lot of steps, but like so far today, just since before talking to you, I walked for an hour. I came home. I made pecan pie steel cut oatmeal from Rise and Shine by Ellen Allard, and it was delicious. I made a raspberry smoothie from one of the smoothie ebooks, and then I went on live for an hour and I made Chuck Underwood's spicy tortilla soup from his contribution to the bundle. So those are things I've made just today before even like 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock this morning. So it's been extremely hectic making all this food, but I've enjoyed it. And, I make little reels, videos, and share them with people so they can see the delicious food in the bundle. So I think that's kind of, a good way to share what's in there that other people have.
Yes. Yeah. There's also a book in the bundle, Lori Laundrie. It's Plant Pills and Punchlines. And I talked with her the other day, and she's got some incredible healing stories about how she was addicted. Well, not addicted, but she was taking a lot of pharmaceutical drugs from all the health issues that she had. And she was relatively young. And so she tells the story of how eating vegan, whole foods helped her overcome these health challenges and got her off of the prescription drugs. Right. So besides all the beautiful cookbooks and recipes that we're talking about, there's also healing, testimonials, and people have written books about their journey, and that's so wonderful.
I'm going live with her tomorrow, Lori.
Oh, she's a sweetheart. Yeah, that'll be really good. Yeah, you'll like talking to her. And so I wanted to mention really quick, the other thing I have in the bundle is scrumptious plant-based burgers and more. And this is my pasty burger.
Oh, okay, great.
Inspired by the flavors of an English pasty, which is rutabaga, lots of onions, and potatoes. And I did that with Sid Nodder and Vicki Brett Gock.
Oh, okay.
Three of us. That. Yeah, we came together and we taught this class, and it was so much fun. And there's a whole cookbook in there too with more veggie burgers and more side dishes. And so that's in the bundle also. So just so for everybody who maybe didn't hear at the beginning, the bundle, it's called the Vegan Health Bundle. It's only available until Sunday, March 10th. So you have to get it while it's available. There's also a collaborated recipe cookbook with spring recipes that everybody who's in the bundle, we've put all our recipes together in a cookbook, and that will never be available again because we've had such a unique collection of like 150 of us, like me and Chef Julia, and we've collaborated. There's over $8,000 worth of merchandise for only $49. And so you can purchase it from the link that's on my page in this video. I have posted how to get to Chef Julia's YouTube channel and Chef Julia's Facebook page, and you can go check her out. And she goes live every day. Boy, that's really ambitious. That's fantastic. So every day you can have a recipe with Chef Julia when she goes live in the morning. What time is that again?
I've been scheduling them for 10 o'clock Central Time.
10 o'clock Central Time. Is there anything else you wanted to add?
No, I think you've said it all. Just don't miss out, because every year I've done this. This is my third time, and every year, about a week or two after the bundle is over, I'll get a bunch of emails about people saying, I forgot to buy the bundle, or can I get the bundle? And I have to tell them, no, I'm sorry, it's too late. So get it while you're thinking about it, because by the time you think about it next, it may be gone, and then you'll have missed out. So, that's my big advice to everybody who hasn't gotten it yet. Excuse me.
That's a very good point. Yes, it's only available till March 10th. You need to act now. Yes. Oh, did you have your puppy? Is he around?
Give me a second to go get him.
All right. I wonder if I have any of my cats around. Jimmy. So Chef Julia has dogs and I have cats. In fact, I have 5 cats, and this is Jimmy, named after the best guitarist in the world, Jimmy Page. This is Jimmy, and he's not even a year old yet. He was born last year. So,
oh, look at that pretty cat.
This is Jimmy. I have 5 cats.
Oh, wow.
And what's your puppy's name?
This is Toshi, Japanese name, and he is 15 weeks old.
Okay.
So we brought him home 6 weeks ago, and he weighed 10 pounds. Now he weighs like 20 something. He's like growing, during the day, in the hours from sunrise to sunset. He's growing so fast, but he's very sweet. He's a boxer, so he's been really good. He's adapted well, sleepy, to the other 2 boxers, the adults. They're accepting him, and he gets along really well with them. So it's been good.
So you have 3 then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
2 males and a female.
I had a male and a female cat last year that were not fixed, so they had kittens. And this is one of the kittens. He's not even a year old yet, and he's probably bigger than his mom already. But
he is big, but he's pretty.
It was such a pleasure and so wonderful to see them born and them grow, and the way that the mom cat took care of them. It was so loving and so beautiful. It was a wonderful experience. And I'm so blessed now, because they just, and I'm sure your dog, smile every day. I laugh all the time, and they're such great companions and company. And it's so important, I think,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They're great.
Well, thank you so much, Chef Julia. This has been such a pleasure.
Thanks for making all those dishes from my ebook. Please post pictures of them so everybody can see them, because they look really cool.
Oh, yep. I'll be doing that. And so everybody get the bundle before March 10th. Most definitely. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in.
All
right, bye.
Bye-bye.